If you buy a McDonald's franchise, you get a 200-page disclosure document. Federal law requires it. It has the pricing, the exit terms, what happens if McDonald's changes the menu and your numbers stop working. 385,000 people bought a Helium hotspot. For their franchise disclosure equivalent, they just got vibes. Helium operators bought a franchise, but they were sold a business. The hardware they paid for is theirs. The pricing that determines what the hardware earns is set by Nova Labs. Nova Labs is the company that runs Helium Mobile and negotiates the carrier deals with T-Mobile and AT&T. That's the whole piece, the rest is just verification. A Pro Outdoor Helium hotspot is $949. After the August 2025 halving, a well-placed urban unit earns $4 to $8 a month. At $8, the hardware pays itself off in 10 years. At $4, 20. 10 years is what asphalt shingles take to wear out. 20 is most of a mortgage. The whole IoT side of the network, all 385,000 hotspots, generates $125 a day in data transfer revenue. The mobile side, which is the carrier offload for T-Mobile and AT&T, generates $56,000 a day. The hotspot side is the hardware the project points at. The mobile side is where the revenue actually lives. In April 2025, a governance vote called HIP 143 gave Nova Labs the authority to negotiate carrier pricing without routing each deal through governance. Now, carrier deals are confidential, and governance is slow, so the commercial case is valid. The proposal was sold as a one-year sunset. But read the text closer. It extends for another year if no overriding HIP passes. April 2026, the initial year ended. No overriding HIP passed. The authority extended itself. It now runs through April 2027. Nobody overrode it. HIP 143 passed at 90%. Nova Labs voted yes with 26% of the total vote. A proxy named Farabee, one of the 4 co-authors who wrote the proposal, voted yes with another 24%. Together, half the yes votes authorizing Nova Labs' pricing authority came from Nova Labs and one of its co-authors. 6 months later, a vote called HIP 148 consolidated more rewards to Nova Labs. Subscribers who had been earning Helium tokens for sharing location data from their phones got gift cards instead. That vote passed at 97%. The top 3 voters controlled 62% of it. In those 6 months, Farabee's voting stake grew 55%. The rest of the network grew 18%. Every HIP starts from a more concentrated baseline than the last. I ran 12 datagram nodes. I moderated their community for 7 months. I did it without pay, and the project collapsed. Earlier pieces I published called Datagram the legitimate counterexample, the decentralized infrastructure project doing it right. That framing was wrong. The 4 disclosure standard this piece argues for would have caught Helium in 2021, before any hotspot shipped. It would have flagged that pricing authority sat outside the operator class. The same standard would not have caught Datagram. Those documents passed. The software wasn't running what they described. The audit is the floor. It doesn't catch fraud. The piece on Substack covers what this video skipped. The 4 disclosures Helium operators never received, written out in plain language. A hardware buyback floor. An exit provision when the reward structure changes underneath you. Revenue disclosure, even when individual carrier rates stay confidential. A sunset clause that requires an active revote instead of extending by default. Also, the full HIP 148 vote, the mobile mapping rewards that subscribers earned by sharing location data, traded for redeemable gift cards. And the Helium Foundation's own guidance, pointing operators toward the same 2 proxies that were accumulating the most voting power. And finally, the rationalization that made me run 12 datagram nodes without pay for a project that had no business underneath it. It's all at drinkyouroj.substack.com. This is the Civic node. Subscribe free on Substack for new issues every week.